remind me of my favorite bourbon. Take a sip of you, baby, I'm swerving from left to right. Left to right. You remind me of my favorite bourbon. Take 2 more shots, you know I'm swerving from left to right. All night. Would you call me old-fashioned if I kiss you in the rain in Manhattan? Oh, I can't wait until my lips are on yours. I can't help the way that I'm feeling. The way you look tonight is so appealing. Hold up, I need to pace myself. You're the bullet to my heart, I swear. I swear. Only took one shot. Only took one shot. The only thing I'll promise is I'll give you all I've got. Oh. You remind me of my favorite bourbon. Take a sip of you, baby, I'm swerving from left to right. Left to right. You remind me of my favorite bourbon. Take 2 more shots, you know I'm swerving from left to right.
Yeah, look, alright. Now pretty bourbon brown eyes, can I grab you off the shelf? You sweet but you strong, I gotta have you to myself.
Hey y'all, what's mackin'? How you crack-a-lackin'? How you crack-a-lackin'? What's mackin'? It's Lisa the X, aka Brown Whiskey Woman. I am still tired. Don't ask me if I got any rest. The answer is no. I am coming to you live from Space One, my original home, y'all, here at Lock and Key Media Studios. Ain't this something? Like return, right? So I want to get into it because I have some very important people backstage. They're in the green room, and I want to bring them on so that we can get into this thing. My guests are from Spin the Spectrum, and I am going to let them do the majority of the explanation on this because I want them to tell you all about what they do. But my guests are Courtney Willis. She has a whole bunch of very important capital letters behind her name. MS, CCC, SLP. She can tell you what all of that means. She is one of the co-founders of Spin the Spectrum. And then we have Clipp, DJ extraordinaire, wonderful person, doing everything, everywhere, all at once, on his way to a gig right now. So please say hey to the peoples of Twitch and tell us about Spin the Spectrum.
All right. Well, okay.
Okay.
I'll let you go first.
Spin the Spectrum provides inclusive DJ and music production classes for neurodivergent people of all ages and all skill levels, except babies. I always have to qualify that because you never know. But babies should be focusing on developmental milestones and not learning to DJ. So that's why.
All right, Jay.
All right.
What you want to say to the peoples?
I am Jay Clipp, co-founder of Spin the Spectrum and founder of the Keep Spinning DJ Academy here in Dallas, Texas. So I've known Courtney for a long time. We've been friends, and when she came to me with this idea, I was like, okay, let's do it. We traveled to Africa many years ago, and we said there, because we were on a trip with a nonprofit, we said that we would figure out how we're going to, put our skills together and do our thing. And here we are.
So tell us how this works, because you all focus on a very specific group of individuals. And I have a son that is on the spectrum. He's 25 years old, so he's about to age out of your program. But and he's not a baby because, Courtney already told us what the babies do, right?
There's no aging out of our program.
No.
Yeah. No.
Really? Because I thought that I saw that someplace that like up to 25 years old.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So he could possibly get in there, huh?
100%. Yeah. I mean, be 90 years old and learn to DJ.
Yeah.
We just can't. Absolutely.
Just no babies.
Yeah.
Again,
Okay,
they
just
should
no
be.
babies. That's the only rule, right? Just no babies.
No, nothing against babies. They're awesome, but their brains
Yeah.
need to develop.
Yeah, they got other stuff to do, right? They just have other things to do.
Yes.
But tell us how the program kind of works. Like, I know that you all came together on this idea, but how does this work? So for instance, if I brought my son, what would be a typical day for him? How would it work? Take us through the whole concept of how that day goes.
Well, so really, and what we do, and forgive me, I did skip the part where I said, like, who I am and what I do.
Right. And all
So
those letters, what all those letters stand for. You skip that part.
I have a Master of Science in Communication Disorders and Speech and Language Pathology. And I am a speech and language pathologist. I'm a motor speech specialist. And, typically the type of patient that comes to see me is most often on the autism spectrum. I don't specialize in autism spectrum disorders because that is a neurotype, and it's not a diagnosis. That's, like a medicalized etiology. But what Jay and I have done by kind of, working together on Spin the Spectrum is we take therapeutic principles and student and patient-led therapeutic principles. And we apply those, typically in my world, I would apply those to teaching someone to talk or communicate or, repair a motor speech issue or something like that. But instead of applying all of my skills and knowledge, towards that, we apply it towards learning to DJ. So a typical day for us really would start much earlier than you're probably thinking, because it would start, weeks before, whenever we talked to you and we asked you about your son. And, we kind of met with you and really individualized whatever materials he would need to prepare for the experience beforehand. So before you ever even come in here, no one comes in here not knowing what we look like. No one comes in here not knowing what the school looks like. No one comes in here not knowing, what the front door looks like or how to get in here or where the bathroom is. So, really, a typical day starts 2 weeks before the typical day. To be, and that's really one area where I feel like it's both good and bad, that it's very deceptive when you watch videos of like Jay working in class, because it just looks so easy. And it is easy because there's a connection between both people. But what people don't see is the hours, months, weeks, years worth of work that underpins all of that. The amount of visual supports that we've gone through, the versions of visual supports, the social stories, the different ways we've had to modify equipment, the different types of cues we have to use. Those are all, evidence-based practice infused into DJ class.
Okay.
And when they come in, everything that we do is student-led. So it's not like, we're forcing a particular skill or, making them, okay, well, we have to do it this way. And, if you do it this way, then, we'll do this next. And, it's not like that. Everything is student-led. So, we try to focus on what the student gravitates towards when they first come in and, check out the equipment. So it's not we get into the skills because, I've been, active as a DJ school here, or a DJ academy here in the Metroplex since 2016. So, teaching, neurotypical people, is where it all, started. But, this has definitely been, a far greater experience to me personally, just because I've really seen some magical things happen. And there's absolutely no way just let me be clear for the record. There's absolutely no way I would do the community a disservice by just trying to do this on my own as a DJ. Mm-hmm. There's absolutely no way I would do it. I would, by all means, not only a professional, but it has to be a certain type of professional. And Courtney and I joke about it all the time. Like, had we not, actually connected on this, I just don't know how it would have fared with anyone else,
Yeah.
because we share the
Yeah.
same birthday.
We have the same birthday.
Yeah. So
And what is the birthday? What's the magic day?
November
No,
21st.
yeah.
November
Yeah.
21st. Okay. Is that what is it? Is that Sagittarius? Am I
No,
right?
Scorpio.
Scorpio.
Yes.
Okay, stand up
It'd be-
Scorpio, stand up cruise. I mean, I'm glad, Jay, that you brought up about, had you not connected with Courtney, because one of my questions was going to be to you all, like, couldn't anybody who teaches DJ classes do this? That's
Absolutely
something
not.
that I think a lot of people are wondering about, because this platform that we're on, is full of DJs. So
But
could anybody do it?
I'm telling you from an experienced, career DJ. Like, I'm not, I don't have like a regular 9 to 5, and I just DJ on the side for fun. Like, this is what I do, as a career, and to build other careers. And I'm telling you, like, no, it really isn't. And I'm not saying that just because we have created what we've created. I'm telling you from someone who teaches. Part of my career is to teach. I've done this on the collegiate level. I've done this on the elementary school level, and now to include full inclusion, the neurodivergent level. And no, you don't do the community a disservice if you really care about it. Don't just do it to be doing it. Do it because you actually care, and caring requires you to do it the right way. It's only one way to do it, and that's the right way.
Well, and just to piggyback off that too, when you kind of agree to teach someone who is maybe perceiving or experiencing the world in a different way than you are, you are, and you're the one guiding them through this process. You're responsible for them, and you're also responsible for teaching them in a way that feels comfortable and good and doesn't hurt them. And when you kind of asked me what a typical day was like, and I said, well, it all starts 2 weeks before. When someone's in here and they come in here for the first time, you know, I could probably take up the whole show just going through what runs through my mind when a kid walks in here, because first thing is are they speaking or non-speaking? If they're non-speaking, I have a modified AAC device so that they can express their preferences as far as what they want to learn on the controller without ever having to talk. So if you're a professional DJ, do you have a master's degree in communication disorders, and do you have a specialty in AAC? Because I do. And so the other thing, yeah, right. And so the great thing about this is like, I don't know anything about how to DJ, nothing. And you would think after 4 years, I mean, yes, I do. Sometimes I can be like, hey, the faders moved all the way over, like that. And, and I feel happy when that happens. I know it's called a monitor and not a speaker. That's about as far as I go, but it's purposeful because, just like Jay says he could never do this without me, I could never do this without him, for a variety of reasons. But one of the, biggest ones is that whenever you're teaching someone who's neurodivergent or on the autism spectrum, the foundation of all of that teaching happens on a foundation of emotional regulation. And so to have to monitor someone's emotional regulation, whether or not they're too high, too low, and catch anything before it, we've never had a meltdown in here, ever. Because
That's amazing. That's
yes.
amazing.
Yeah. And that's due to the amount of prep work we have, but it's also due to the fact that, like, if you think of, a meltdown happening on a number line, and let's say the meltdown happens at 10, I don't let you get to 3. Once I see you're just the slightest bit dysregulated, we back all the way off and we figure out what we need to do to get calm and feel okay, even if that means you need to go home and come back and try it again next week. That's what we do. Because no learning can happen in a dysregulated state. You can't learn, and you're certainly not going to learn a recreational skill under duress. Like,
Right.
that's crazy.
You're
This is
not.
supposed to be fun.
And I can tell, and
And
this is
Courtney,
again.
I'm sorry, Courtney, can you kind of explain, because as I said, we have Twitch viewers. When we say meltdown, because of course, having a child that has autism, I know what that means, and a lot of people here do, but explain how that's different from a temper tantrum. We're not talking
Yeah.
about that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So they're completely different things. So a meltdown is like first of all, it's in no way a temper tantrum, but it's a state of extreme dysregulation, right? But it's extreme dysregulation to the point of you're also in your fight or flight reflex. So there's cortisol, cortisol pumping through your brain. You feel like you're either fighting for your life or fleeing for your life. Literally no learning can take place. The language centers of your brain are turned off. So if someone's like talking to you, your brain can't even process their language. Also, basically the more stimulation you throw, it's like a grease fire. That's the way I think of meltdowns. Meltdowns are like grease fires. So like when you see a grease fire and you're not educated about grease fires, you think, oh, it's a fire, let me throw some water on it. Well, water in the autism world is stimulation. So you go over there and you talk to the person, you say, oh, are you okay? Are you all right? What's wrong? Tell me what happened. Blah, 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 blah. And you're not paying attention to anything else going on in the world around you. And there's all this other stimuli, and there's lights, and there's people moving around, and furniture, moving. Other kids are crying. All that stuff's coming at the kid. That's all water on that grease fire. So the fire gets huge. But really what has to happen for that fire to be put out, which is our meltdown example, is for someone to come along and put a lid over that and smother that fire, which means you cut off all stimulation. So in our class, there's tons of things that are very stimulating, right? The controllers have lights on them. There's, sound. There's different things you touch. They feel different. Stuff smells different. Some of our kids can smell electronics that were manufactured pre-1999, specifically hair dryers. So if you think about that heightened sensory perception, the amount you're taking in, like those systems become overloaded, and what happens is like a computer rebooting, basically. So it's just everything is like, the worst it could possibly be. You can't take anything in, and then your brain kind of reboots itself. But it's a period where someone's not going to be responsive to speech. They're not really going to be they're just in the state they're in.
Right.
Like whatever big feeling or whatever big thing is going through their body, because some autistic people say they don't even think in emotion words when they're having meltdowns. Some autistic people say it just feels like a bolt of energy just continuously going through their body. And there are no words that happen during that time. But it's a completely different state of experiencing the world in a way that just overloads you to the point where you just feel, I don't know, if it were me, I would feel very out of control experiencing that.
Yes.
So that's what a meltdown is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I talk for a living, so I talk a lot.
Well, I wanted our listeners, our viewers, to be clear on that. But I do want to talk a little bit more about the workshops that you all offer. And I know you're based out of Texas, but you all will travel for these workshops. And you will bring this programming to schools, organizations, communities. So talk about the structure of that when you travel. Let's say you came to Atlanta to do a workshop. Tell us how that would work. How would that go?
Well, so again, there would be prep work, because we don't ever do anything without preparing. So we would, probably, meet with you over Zoom, several weeks prior to the workshop. You'd take us through the environment, because that's, another thing that we look at, because the deal with what we do, and as far as being student-led and supporting emotional regulation, that also extends to environmental modifications. So so like when we look at, the area, we're going to say, hey, you can't put this there because that sound's going to bounce off it in a weird way. or, this is way too close to this. There's a huge AC unit that's going to come on and off, and somebody that's coming is definitely going to have sensitive hearing, so that's going to throw everything off. There's fluorescent lights, and I can tell one of the bulbs are going out, and someone on the spectrum is going to see that, 100 times more than I am. So it's going to look like a club to them. So we can't do it here.
Can't do it.
So, we would look at the environment. Then we'd look at where in the environment we need to like structure certain, areas, like where if someone were to get overstimulated, and we caught them at a 2, where are they going to go? Like, where's the calm down area?
Okay.
Where's the area where I reduce my level of stimulation? So we would find one of those areas. Then we're going to make a list of like what things we would need to provide in those areas, like noise canceling headphone, just any range of things that you might need to kind of get calm again so you could re-enter the workshop. Because that's the great thing about not having a meltdown is you can recover from that and then you can still participate. And then your brain can create a new neural pathway and kind of learn to deal with that a little bit more as long as you're having fun doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of our goal. So then after we knew that, we'd go through and discuss like our equipment needs and, kind of the general population, as far as who you thought would be coming, our range of support needs, because for us, like we accept all support needs. Like we even worked with JP Morgan Chase to develop an app. So if you're non-ambulatory from the neck down, you can still come to one of our workshops. We have an app that works with eye gaze devices.
Yeah.
That's great
so
to
you
know.
so you can DJ with your eyes. If you're non-speaking and your device, dies because it's out of batteries, well, we can charge that one because I got 3 or 4 more iPads with your communication program already pre-programmed on there. So we kind of go through and make sure we're as prepared as possible for the range of support we need to provide. But then we also plan for, additional support needs that we just think might co-occur. Because that's really what inclusion is like not just like saying, okay, who's going to be there and then prepare specifically for them. It's saying what's possible. And let me just make sure that you have what you need just in case.
How long are the
So-
sessions?
Yes.
How long are the sessions designed? Do you have like say half day or full day?
I got to exit.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Twitch fam.
All right.
With-
Yeah, I was gonna
Just
say he's
stay
and Jay, I want to say this to you. There's some people you all cannot see the chat, and I just want to say to the Twitch viewers, they cannot see the Twitch chat. But Nick the Quick said, "Jay Clipp, what's up?
What's up?
what's
That's my
happening?"
guy right there.
He said, "What's happening?" And there are lots of people in the chat, and I know Courtney's gonna address the questions, but I saw Nick, so I wanted to make sure that I shouted you out. But Jay, thank you so much for stopping in. I know you are on your way to a gig, so we're gonna pull Courtney over, tell her to slide over to the right a little bit so that we can see her and continue to talk. But Jay, do you have any final words for us before you run off to your gig?
Just do all you can to support inclusion. Do all you can to support our movement. SpinTheSpectrum.org. You know what I mean? The more you support us, the more we're able to support others. And that's really our goal, to support everybody that we can support.
Okay.
So thank you. And
Thank you.
I appreciate
Thank you.
All right. Peace.
All right. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to slide over here.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
And hey, everybody in the chat. Hey, DC Chill Brother. Hey, Natty Nat. Hey, Chanel B. Hey, Yo Yo Baby. Hey, Ray Rap. Hey, C Love. Hey, D Man. I didn't get a chance to greet you all because we wanted to get into our interview, but thank you all for being here. Hey, Natty. Hey, London. Hey, Cruz. Hey, LaWanda. Hey, everybody. Okay. So, the workshops, are they half day, full day? How are they structured in terms of people coming in? Let's say I'm at the door and I have my son with me and we've done all the pre-work. I'm about to walk through the doors. How long are we going to be there? What can I expect?
Usually and it really does depend. Like when I say everything we do is individualized,
Mm-hmm.
it's annoyingly individualized. Because we'll have people call us up and just be like, "How does it work?" And then, I'm like, "It's not that easy."
Right.
But depending on what you want, um, out of town workshops, we try to do at least like 3 hours a day, but we
Okay.
can do like 6 hour blocks depending on how much, volunteer support we have. And it also depends on how many students we have. And, you know, it would also depend on what groups of support needs we had as well. Because we would individualize each of their lesson plans based off of what they were interested in, and how we needed to support them. Um, so, typically what we do is we bring in equipment, and sometimes we'll have two students on one piece of equipment. It just kind of depends. But they'll get their individualized time, and we take a multisensory approach to teaching our students. And that's hugely important whenever you're teaching students who are neurodivergent or autistic, is to teach in 3 dimensions and 5 senses. And so we do that. And we have, of course, I'm not going to get up here and tell you all the ways that we've modified our, methodology and techniques to make it efficient for how someone neurodivergent learns. Um, but that is what we do. Um, we take the DJ curriculum that anybody would learn at a professional DJ school, and that's one area where I'm extremely fortunate. Is Jay has
Yeah.
the oldest, the biggest, the best DJ school in the North Texas area. So he has a very solid curriculum that he's been teaching for a really long time. And so that was one area where we just kind of think, or we tend to say, well, it was totally meant to be, because I couldn't have done that with somebody who had, less experience, and who wasn't really solid in their technique, but also in their teaching technique. So, he can say, this is exactly how I teach it. And that's another great trait to have in someone who's teaching someone who's autistic, is someone who has a way to say, this is exactly how I teach it, because then I
Right.
can say, this is exactly how you need to modify that. Um, and so, we'll go through and we'll modify all those skills. But I can tell you, if there are 8 students there, I may make 6 to 7 modifications.
Okay.
And maybe the 8th one I make 0 modifications on, because, this is like their special interest, and they have practiced these moves in their mind for, 5 years. And this is the first time they're getting an opportunity to do it. But, they're gifted in the fine motor area, and they just know how to do it. We have kids like that. We have
Right.
adults like that, um, that can just come in and do it. And if that's the case, then we just go as far as, you want to go, because you have one of the top teachers that arguably, in the country teaching you. So that's a great thing. The great thing about having Jay is, like, whatever level they want to get to, like, he's beat the Mario game. So if you want to go to level 100 or whatever, he can play that level. Um, but uh, depending on whether or not you're like speaking or non-speaking, um, then we modify that there. We figure out what everybody likes, and we just make it so that you can do it. Um, that's the simplest way I know to, explain it. We pay attention to what you like, and then we make it possible for you to learn to do what you like.
What kind of student teacher ratio is it? Because I know, of course, Jay is leading the classes, but then also you have volunteers that come in, which I'm assuming are DJs that come in and
Yeah.
offer assistance as well. So, what is the
Yeah.
ratio like?
So like we like to have, one DJ for, typically, like when Jay and I do individual classes, it's myself and Jay with one DJ student. So when
Okay.
we do workshop, um, you know, if we have 2 students at one table, then we'd have a DJ there, and I would float around the room. Um, And so, you know, really, I don't know, it'd probably be like a 1-to-2 ratio. It'd be a little higher than that. But as far as one DJ to kind of like watch you and pay attention to what you're interested in and, you know, things like that, one DJ teacher per 2 students. And then we just have other volunteers to kind of help me monitor everyone's emotional regulation. Usually someone can go, boop, and I'll know kind of what's going on. Like, okay, we need to take or we're excited, or, you know, or they need a fidget toy or something like that. And we just make that change right there in real time. Or if we can see that a student is really into something, but, you know, the way the DJ instructor's kind of trying to show them, there's a lot of, you know, context dependent language and things like that. I'll go through and pull my computer out, and in real time, I'll make a visual support, and we'll break that down. And, you know, I'll sit there and say, okay, what are the exact steps you're teaching? And then we'll go through and we'll make a visual, and we'll break that down into the easiest possible digestible chunks for the student, and they can follow that and have some success.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, we have some video because we've been talking for a minute, and I would love for everybody to see some of the things that you all have done. And you all had an appearance on Kelly Clarkson. They are famous.
Yeah,
y'all.
we did.
They made it to Kelly Clarkson. They're famous. So let's take a look at that show appearance so you all can get a feel for what happens when these students are coming in. And you all were talking to Kelly. So let's see if we can take a look at that.
Our next guests were friends for years before they realized they could pair up to change the lives of many kiddos. They're the founders of Spin the Spectrum, a nonprofit in Dallas that teaches the art of DJing to children with neurodivergence. Let's welcome Courtney and Jay, everybody.
Having us.
No, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. You got this idea, is this true, from a documentary about Grandmaster Flash?
It is.
I love that.
I can't remember if it was AMC or Netflix or something, but I was actually getting ready to go pick up something for one of my students from Jay's house. And they were doing an interview with Grandmaster Flash. And he was talking about how he got started and really how he created the art of DJing. Mm-hmm. And what he said, I really loved anything electronic. And I loved taking things apart and putting them back together. Mm-hmm. But I especially love things that spin and went around and around and around. I loved washers and dryers. And working with autistic students, I also have a lot of friends that love that as well. But he said, and again, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, it allowed me to be a part of the party. Yeah. But when I got behind the controller or the decks, I had total control over everything. And when you process the world sensory-wise in a different way, control is so comforting. Yeah. And so I thought, wow, I know so many friends that would benefit from this and that would love this. And so, of course, 20 minutes later, I'm over at Jay's house and I say, hey, I have this insane idea. You have got the oldest and best DJ school in Dallas. Yeah. Let's do autistic and neurodivergent DJ classes.
Like, let's go for it.
I know, right off the bat. Like, what did you think right when she brought this idea up to you?
I didn't even have to think twice about it. It was something that I knew I wanted to do, because at the Keep Spinning DJ Academy, that was something that I always wanted to maybe approach, teaching neurodivergency. But, when Courtney brought me that idea, I'm like, okay, now we have a way to actually put it together, with what we both do and bring it to the people. So it was incredible.
So the classes are individualized, right, for each student?
Yeah. So we take the principles of child-led or patient-led therapy, which is really the gold standard in how to teach autistic and neurodivergent people. Yeah. And we apply those to teaching DJ music production. So I think if you had told me at the beginning of my career, like, you're going to be helping people teach DJ music production classes as a speech and language pathologist, I would have been like, what in the world kind of universe are you living in? But
what a cool person you are to be open to something like that. You see something, get inspired by something, and the people that did that documentary had no idea what they would inspire, that ripple effect, and then how it's affected these other kids.
I often call it a rock star SLP, because nobody else has thought to even go in a direction like that. class.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. I would do this for the rest of my life because it's amazing and it's wonderful and there's something to it and there's something special about it.
Yeah. What a life well lived when you find something like that. I want to mention this because it's amazing. You operate on a pay-if-you-can model, right? Which is really important.
You know, anytime autistic or neurodivergent kiddos do something for recreation, to me, you know, as their therapist, I feel like it always ends up turning into therapy.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
Yeah.
As a therapist,
but it could be cool if it's art, if it comes out as art. Yeah.
Yes, but I wanted them to be able to do something just for the sake of doing something for fun, or because they wanted to, or because they were passionate about it.
So you turned it around. Yeah.
Yeah, and so when that's your goal, money is never your goal.
Yeah.
And so we want that avenue to be open for everyone.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Because not everybody can afford that. Yeah.
It's definitely the most fulfilling thing that I've ever done as a DJ. I've worked with some of the biggest artists that you can think of.
Real.
And, you know, to do this is the most fulfilling.
Oh, it's got to be so inspiring, too. You have an artist you've been working with, Jordan, right?
Yes.
Okay, you have a story that kind of proves how powerful the program can be. So talk to us about Jordan.
All right, so Jordan's mother came to us expressing interest in classes, and Courtney has actually been working with Jordan since he was 2.5 years old. He's 13 now.
Yeah.
And he also...
Family member at that point. Yes.
He is. Yeah. The whole family.
Yes. Yeah. Another one of our students who, you know, innately had that perfect pitch. You know, I didn't have to go into great detail on telling him where to bring in the next song or what have you. He actually came in, and after maybe 2 weeks of DJ classes or something like that, his OT called us, and she was like, "What the heck are you guys doing?" You know, because now Jordan is taking 2 tennis balls and he's bouncing them off, you know, crossing them and then catching them in the opposite hand. So we sort of felt like we were on to something at that point.
Like tears probably came out of that parent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I understand that very well. When you see them do something, you're like, oh my God, it's connecting.
Yes.
Like somebody got to them and they communicated to them in a way that they understood, and it's, oof.
Yes.
Yeah.
So from there, we actually do a weekly activity at the best school for neurodivergent individuals in Dallas called It's a Sensory World.
They are amazing.
Yeah, they're absolutely amazing.
Oh, yes.
So shouts out to It's a Sensory World.
Yes.
But, they were having a fundraising gala, and they initially asked me to DJ. Yeah. But then when they found out how great Jordan was doing, they were like,
and Jordan was going to school there at the time,
maybe we'll get you to do a little something, but I think we want Jordan to DJ.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well.
That's a proud moment, though.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah.
And initially he was a bit nervous, you know, but he overcame his fear, and then he picked out all his songs, and he did this set, and it was just absolutely incredible. I mean, 250 people, standing ovation. I was his hype man. Like, you know what I mean? Usually, you know, I get a hype man, but I was his hype man on this set. And his grandparents were there, his parents were there, and it was just probably the most, you know, fulfilling thing that I'd seen at that time. And then we went on to do more classes, and, you know, I just continue to get amazed with every student.
Oh my, what was it like in the room that night?
Jordan is one of the smartest, most kind people on planet Earth. Yeah. But I also know that when you experience the world in that way, in a different way than the other kids around you, that's hard. Mm-hmm. It's hard, but that hardship often builds character. And that character that
ends up making the coolest individuals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I don't ever want to present it like, oh, hardship made him great, because like no one deserves hardship. But like,
I understand,
he's an amazing person. And so like for me to watch this kid that's kind of frozen in my mind at like maybe 3 or 4, and then get to watch him have this huge moment where like, I say this every time, but it was like I watched the whole trajectory of his life change. Yeah. You know? Yeah. You just saw all this confidence flow into him. And this kid that I saw everything that was cool about him when he was 2.5, to get to see a room full of 100 people see that same thing in a scenario where that was totally magnified, and like he could take it all in and he could feel all that love and all and feel like he was fully included.
and then he could see himself. You know what I'm saying? It's like
you know,
he could
like
see
that
him.
was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, it was a defining moment of my life.
Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful life y'all live, and a part of so many inspiring moments, and get to be a part of so many beautiful lives.
We're
as
lucky
well.
to be.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
It's, yeah,
Very
I get
lucky.
it. I get it. Our friends at the Texas-based grocery chain HEB love how Spin the Spectrum is changing lives for kiddos with neurodivergence. To help you keep providing this outlet, they're donating $10,000 just to help out.
What?
That was powerful. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that was powerful. And speaking of donations, if you put exclamation point donate in the chat, you can donate to Spin the Spectrum. So this entire month, of course, we have been running the Spinning Autism campaign. We just came off the family reunion and Soul Train. We will be collecting funds for that until May 15th. But if you put exclamation point donate, you can donate to Spin the Spectrum. And I am going to ask you all tonight to please support them. This is their GoFundMe. They're doing wonderful things out here for the autism community. And I just love this bridge between the autism community and the DJ community, because I feel like, first of all, when I saw you all's name, Spin the Spectrum, and my campaign is Spinning Autism, I was like, I gotta have him on the show. We gotta talk. We gotta do this thing, because I just felt like that was just divine intervention. Shout out to Yo-Yo Bebe for introducing us. That's her Twitch name. But Yolanda, thank you so much. And C Sharp for introducing us and connecting us. So for sponsorship opportunities, we have donation, but there are some sponsorship opportunities. And Courtney, if you would kind of elaborate upon that and tell people, if they're interested, how they can go about that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you want to send us a DM, if you want to email us, we're really, you know, open to just anything. But I will say this, you know, you guys would be surprised, like how, for one thing, like it's crazy how well DJing fits with being autistic, right? Because you're in control of your sensory environment. Like, so instead of sound being unexpected, it becomes expected when you can DJ. But also, you know, most autistic brains are good at pattern recognition. Well, music is a pattern. And they're good at learning systems, and we know how to teach this in systems. So it's something that someone who's autistic can really do. It's also allows you to be a part of, you know, something really cool, but you carry a much lighter social load, because nobody can just run up and say something weird to you, you know, while you're DJing. People step in and stop that, which is like excellent if you're autistic. But I say all that to say, recently we get, you know, we can't, some of our students are, you know, come to us for a variety of different reasons, and from a variety of different backgrounds. So we don't film all of our students, because some of them, you know, want to be private. But we recently just got this really cool adult student, you know, and he's living at the Autism Treatment Center. You know, it's like 20 miles from us, 15 or 20 miles. And, you know, his nurse was like, well, hey, could y'all take another adult? I mean, and the answer to like, could we take another adult is always yes. So just so everyone knows, like, don't think because like, you know, your brother, your sister, your son, your daughter is like not, you know, because I'm a therapist. So like, I know all the phases, you know, I've been doing this for over 20 years. And don't think that just because somebody's like not what a lot of people would consider cute anymore, that they're not amazing and cool to us, because they are. And so, you know, I say all that to say, she was like, hey, could you take another adult student? And we're like, yeah, like we want more adult students. Like we need more. In fact, we're, you know, working on, doing creating an online program, because there are so many autistic adults that could do this for a living, that wouldn't have to have like incredible social skills, because they communicate through their creativity, and they get to be a part of something awesome, and they get to be appreciated for who they are in here, because that comes out through music. And so that's why I'm saying please donate, because like, what a wonderful gift to give someone. To I'm a speech pathologist. I'm used to like helping people like learn to express themselves. I'm used to giving that gift, but to be able to give the gift of being included is, along with being able to help someone express themselves and be understood and be seen by all those people that are including them. There's a reason why we love this so much. There's a reason why we're so passionate about this, because this is incredible. This is
Agreed.
incredible, and like, we're lucky to get to do it. And like, this is something that is going to change a lot of people's lives. And we're right at the beginning. So, that's just what I think. So.
No, I mean, I think you said that very well. I mean, that was very eloquently put. And you're right. And us being part of this Twitch community that is so heavily involved with music and DJs, and this is kind of what we do all day, every day, right? We're here. But as you said, the inclusion portion of it, the communication as well as the inclusion portion, because we all want to be included. I mean, that's just a basic human need, that we all want to be included. We all want to be seen and heard and know that we matter. And I know that's something that like I very much live by, that mantra for everybody. So to hear you say that is just absolutely wonderful. I do want to give our chatters any opportunity to ask questions. And if you all would highlight them, or if the mods can highlight them, please do so. But if you all have any questions for Courtney, I want to make sure that I am giving those to you. Hey, Fudge, how you doing? We got some people that came in. I want to speak to them as well. But please put those in the chat if you have any. Also, I want to say, anybody out there listening that has any type of connections, okay? This is equipment sponsorship, industry connections. Please contact Spin the Spectrum, because they will take all your donations, all your sponsorship. Companies like Rain, Newmark, Pioneer for DJ hardware support, Serato, anybody out there, if you have any type of connect, please put them in touch with Spin the Spectrum, okay? Because they need that support. And we all know with nonprofits, anything that they can get that is going to help their nonprofit grow and to be able to service the individuals that they are targeting is needed, required. So come on, let's do this. And of course, the donations help. They go a long way. And I know we've been asking you to donate for Spinning Autism, but please today, please donate to Spin the Spectrum. All right. So someone did ask, do you have volunteer opportunities for non-DJs?
So not really right now, but that's not to say no. The reason we don't have them right now is, number one, because there's not a huge need for it. I know it does seem like it would be like fun to like come in and help and stuff like that, but the thing that you have to consider is that I'm in there with Jay, and we talked about learning to DJ being an overstimulating kind of scenario, especially in the beginning. Well, we try to be very aware of how much stimulation we're injecting into every class, and so to just bring a volunteer in there, as as much as you may know and be well-meaning and have so many years of experience with autism, one more person is still added stimulation. You know, I mean, and we really, really pay. I mean, like I said, there's a reason why we've never had a meltdown in here. And so, you know, now as far as like helping us like solicit donations or like, you know, equipment donations or sponsorships, that would be an awesome, like a awesome way to help us. But we want to, when we bring on non-DJ volunteers, which is like in the long-term plan, we want to make sure that just like how we prepare our neurodivergent students, we want to prepare our neurotypical volunteers. So you get educated in exactly how to do what we're, you know, how to support an autistic person in a way that's comfortable for them. So I know that's a long answer, but coming soon, but we want to make it good. So that's what I got.
Okay. Butch, thank you so much for the gifted subs. I appreciate it. And please know that all bits and subs will be donated tonight. They will go to you. They will go to Spin the Spectrum. So I will make sure of that. Thank you for your resub, Ebony. I appreciate that very much. Again, any donations, !donate, will go to Spin the Spectrum directly. In the words of D-Man, either you guys can get the tax write-off or I can. Choose.
Yeah.
Right? And I would really think you all would want it. Okay, we got another question. Someone asked, has any of the students become DJs professionally? And if so, where we can support them? Are they on Twitch or some other platform?
So we do have several students that have done paid gigs. You know, most of our students are still continuing in classes because, you know, one thing about autism that I learned when I was in graduate school, one of my professors always used to say for a lot of autistic people, much of the time they will have to sit in that longer than you think they need to. So, you know, have any of our students gone on to be like professional DJs in the sense of like how Jay is a professional DJ? No. But we've only been around since 2021, so just give us a little time. You know, if you let us cook, I'm pretty sure we'll probably come up with somebody.
I think so.
But, yeah, if and when that happens, that they won't be alone, because that's part of what's written into our nonprofit is that we fully support all of our students. So even if they were a professional DJ and they had to go in and deal with neurotypical people as far as like setting up the gig, booking the gig, you know, managing the parts of it where they would need accommodations, our nonprofit would go in there and make sure that those were in place.
Okay, that's great that you're going to offer the support. But to me, when you said that you've had some students that have gotten paid gigs, hey,
okay,
there you go, right?
Hey,
like, because to me, a paid gig, you're no longer an amateur, right? And you're only an amateur as long as you call yourself one. And I say once you start to call yourself a professional, you're professional.
Yeah.
Okay. So someone did ask, can you explain how the sponsorship works? So if you could share that. And let me point out to you all the information at the top, the Spin the Spectrum contact information is pinned at the top of the chat. So if you want to have some additional conversation after this show directly with Courtney, you can. That's available. I have everything up there. I have their IG, phone number, website, email. You got it. It's there. So nobody can say that they couldn't get in touch with you. But thank you all. We have a hype train. So that means that people are giving bits and subs, Courtney. Thank you all so much for the hype train. And as I said, all of those funds will go to Spin the Spectrum. So that will be donated. But if you could please just kind of briefly tell us about how the sponsorship works to answer that person's question.
So, you know, if you had asked me a clinical question, I would absolutely be able to do that right off the top of my head. But, you know, we do offer like some like different tiers of sponsorship. And I am terrified that I am going to say the wrong information for the wrong tier.
Okay.
However, you know, it's like, sir, obviously, like, we shout you out on our social media and everything else, but also we offer individualized sponsorship packages. So if there's something that, like, you really want to see happen, I mean, as long as it's like within reason, we're always going to try to, try our best to accommodate someone who's trying to help us and, help our students. So
are the sponsorship tiers, is that information on your website?
It is not on our website, but if you want to
Okay.
DM us like that, I do have it in PDF form, and I
Okay.
can email it right to you.
Okay.
So,
I think that was Ray Rap that asked that. Any other questions from the group? Because we have, thank you so much, Yo Yo Baby. She just gave 5 subs. So, but we do have another really short clip. And then also you all have a great IG page that features a lot of the students. So I want to make sure we get to that, but let's show the next clip that we have of some of the students, I think.
You can do this. You can absolutely do this.
Let's go. Keep it going.
Ask any parent of a neurodiverse child, and that hope is music to the ears.
We tear up all the time. He does it to us.
Read the room, set the tone, match the vibe.
Yeah.
Some gigs
Let's go. You hit it?
are just too good to pass up.
Okay. So we got a chance to see a little bit. Hey, Stormy Waters, how you doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was actually a ABC special, or it was I guess a clip, to a much longer feature that our local ABC affiliate did.
Okay.
But yeah, those are some of our awesome students too. So,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Are we able to look at IG? Lock? Okay. Let's take a look at the IG page so you guys can see some more of the students in action.
Yeah, and actually one of our students recently performed, had a paid gig at the National, Autism Association of North Texas.
Congratulations to that. Please make sure you all follow them on IG too. So you're seeing, this is their page, and you can click on any of these videos and take a look at some of the things that they're doing. So let's just pick one. Doesn't matter which one, but let's pick one.
Yeah, any of the, Sam is probably pretty recent on there. He's in a white shirt.
Okay, hold on. We're playing something there. Okay, let's do one more. Scroll down just a little bit because there was one that I watched. Oh, yes. DJ Snake. DJ Snake is on here quite a bit, and I was thoroughly entertained by her.
It's so awesome.
This is Marley. She is a dog, and she has decided to come to do this Instagram video. Hi guys, my name's Harley. Yeah, I know this. I really like this. Okay, back to Snake. Alright, so I have been working real hard on Koto just for all of you, my fans. So on my next post, you will be able to listen to Koto.
love her, right? I absolutely love her. I mean, such a big personality, and she's like, "This is Marley," and I have a emote that does look a lot like Marley.
Oh yeah, I have never seen someone run Mr. J with such efficiency. Just during, like, at one class, she was like, "Well, how about you just show me how to do it, and I'll sit over here like a movie critic and tell you whether or not I want to do it."
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like the best kid personality like you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there's a reason why we love getting to do this. But, also, there's just as many great things about our kids who are like non-speaking and high support needs. Like, like there's always like, that's the thing. Everybody has a very cool, awesome personality.
Yeah.
But some of them definitely have an additional helping of sass, which I personally enjoy a great deal.
I like the way I like the way you put that, helping of sass. I think I'm gonna take that and integrate that into my vocabulary. An extra helping of sass.
All of those
most
skills
definitely. So I hope that everybody will, first of all, make sure you follow them on IG. Please make a donation. And I am really, really excited to say to our family in Baltimore that you all are going to be doing a workshop there. We have a flyer, and this was facilitated by Yolanda and Chanel B. So I'm really excited about this for our Twitch fam and everybody that's going to participate in this. And we will show the flyer, and then Courtney, if you could please talk to it a little bit and tell them about what's going to happen on that day. So let's take a look at that flyer and see what's happening in Baltimore. There we go. So Courtney, we have the B-side org Spin the Spectrum flyer up.
Okay.
And I see the date is June 6, 2026. And of course, that's a Sunday from 1 to 3. So, and I don't know if you have the flyer in front of you by any chance, because I know you can't see it on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. But the people can see it. So I'll just say it does talk about what the participants will be doing with music rhythm and mixing in a supported, individualized environment with direct access to equipment. And you do have on there, DJ support staff, contact us to be a volunteer. So if anybody is in the Baltimore area, they can reach out to you, correct?
Correct. And we will need, just non-DJ support staff volunteers too, to just help us kind of monitor the room. So if you are looking to get involved on a case-by-case basis, that's sometimes, I have a bit of concrete thinking myself. That is one way where you can help us is, workshops.
Okay, so there you go. There were some people that were asking about volunteering, and if you're in the area, you definitely can reach out. There's a scan code on this, so if you're looking at it on your screen, on your computer, or TV, or wherever, and then, of course, you can contact the B-side org at gmail.com, which, of course, that's Chanel B, or you can whisper Chanel B, and she's in the room, I think. So feel free to whisper her. And I am so excited to hear back on this. Like, I wish I could be there. I wish I lived in Baltimore, because I wish I could be there. So, yeah. So this would be, this is going to be really exciting.
Yes.
So,
yes. Yeah, it's surprising how many of our students really pick up a lot, even just through workshops. So, and we're really hoping that eventually, especially workshops in DC in that area, we'll be able to translate those into some online programs that we can kind of monitor remotely, because there is a huge demand for this, and there are a lot of people who, can do this and want to do this. So, oh, and the other thing I was going to say too is like, even, DJs, like if you are upgrading your MacBook or whatever, and you still have a MacBook that runs Serato, like we do have like an equipment donation, like, or, like a controller that's still, that's like not from like 2007. Like, not that we don't appreciate anything, and, we definitely do have some adults that, maybe they live in a treatment center where they would still just like something to practice on. But that's also, an in-kind donation. So even if you can't give monetarily, like if you have an old laptop that still works or whatever, there's lots of ways to help. Because there's definitely that need.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, definitely. Anything that you can do is appreciated and helpful,
Yes.
because it's all going to the greater cause.
Yes.
So I know you all started this in 2021, right? And of course you've grown, you've expanded, but what do you want to do ultimately? Are we going to just see folks doing this all over the world, or tell me what the end goal is for this?
Yeah. So I mean, like, we have an end goal. Like, that's the thing, is like, we were, Jay and I've been friends for, gosh, like 20 years now. So like, we knew each other for a really long time. We've been, like you said, we've been to Africa together and all kinds of stuff. We always kind of cross paths. Well, and especially like November 21st, people are crazy about their birthdays. So, you meet another
Right.
person, we're having joint birthdays. So, but the end goal for this, and really, from the beginning, we wrote it into our nonprofit, like from the beginning, is that this eventually turns into its own self-sustaining biome. Because what we want is, we want our students to grow up and become DJs, but like another great avenue of, of employment for them is to actually teach other students how to DJ, because we're we're not autistic here. But, one of my biggest wins will be when we are able to have our first autistic DJ teacher. And so, but the thing about it is like, there's not just DJ opportunities. We have music production opportunities, but we also have, like, autistic people are great at inventory management. Like, so we would be able to employ people, in that aspect of keeping track of things, of doing, the sound, and I'm sorry, I'm going to sound like the dumbest, like, because I'm a dumb speech pathologist, but like the cables, the wires, the connecting of the things.
The connecting of the things. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I do have a master's degree in neuroscience, but I cannot speak DJK, like the XL, RCAs, whatever, the letters and the vowels that are attached to the cables that Jay knows about, that I don't. Anyway, autistic people are awesome at that kind, or some. There are people who exist who do, who tend to gravitate towards that, is just even a special interest. Setting up sound, just knowing where the sound is going to bounce off in a room, where we need to put, audio design. Like, there are all these opportunities connected to events and to being a DJ, that you don't have to be a social butterfly to do. That you don't have to, like, constantly, like, be on high alert that somebody neurotypical is going to say something that you don't quite catch, but you have to, like, mask and pretend like you know what it means. There are a lot of jobs connected to the DJ world that are very, explicit in the instructions, or that you have to have a very specific ear to even do, like, going through and editing songs that someone has, produced or whatever, to listen for when levels are off. I mean, like, we literally had one of our girls in production class doesn't even have to, like, do any math to, like, match BPMs. Like, she can hear it. like to like level and like we have some kids that like whenever they backspin can like start all the way at the end of one song and backspin to the exact spot and catch up with the other song just by looking at the waveforms. Like, but we also have some kids that can do that by ear. So there are all these things that are marketable skills that exist in the autism community, but nobody, I won't say nobody, but it's difficult to find professionals who know how to support those marketable skills in a way that turns them into marketable skills. Right. Because in addition to that, we recognize like, hey, we're not just gonna, be able to just take all of these skills and get all these people jobs. We're gonna have to like negotiate on their part with the jobs. We're gonna have to go over their contracts to make sure they're not getting, messed over. We're going to have to go in some cases do some workplace training so we don't have employees that are bullying them. And these are just the realities of, I'm not saying we're anticipating that, but what I am saying is we're anticipating protecting our students. Right. That we're not even going to make that a scenario. And so in addition to that, like, we know we're going to have to do job coaching. We know we're going to have to do, other things to prepare them. So really the end goal is to fix what always frustrated me about the whole world with autism and autism services, which is I used to always, walk into, or anytime I would meet a kid, as a therapist, you think, oh, there's so much they can do. Like that, or that's how I think, like, look at all this potential. Look at all the things they could possibly do. These are all the things that I see that they could possibly do. And you see that possibility. And then you have to look at that possibility, and then you have to look at their resources. And if resources are a liquid and possibility is a cup, that liquid never fills the cup all the way to the brim. And so, one of my favorite quotes is always like, it's not the size of the balloon, it's the length of the string. And so I want to see what happens when the whole length of the string is extended. So I want to give you all the help you need. I don't want to just like throw you out there into the job market and say, here, you can do this, get a job now. Now manage your social communication between your employees or between, your coworkers or whatever. Now navigate workplace conflict. Like now discuss your salary. Now learn to go ask for a raise and the social skills involved with that. Now learn to advocate for yourself when you're overstimulated. No. We're going to, like, the end goal is to spin the spectrum into something that gives you all the help you need, that allows you to extend your string to the maximum length, and let's just see what happens. Let's just see where the balloon goes. That's the end goal.
I like that. It's endless possibilities. Right?
Yeah, but eventually we want to be run, managed. Like, we want to be able to sit back and look and see all these autistic people, like, helping other autistic people, running Spin the Spectrum in a way that's respectful and comfortable, and where if you're autistic, you can come and you're going to be accepted, even if you feel like you're the weirdest autistic person on earth, which you're not. That this is the place where you can come and just know baseline, like, it's going to be okay here. Okay.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today and, sharing about Spin the Spectrum again. And thank you to everybody that came in. Thank you, DJ Jonah. I just saw you. But for just sharing what Spin the Spectrum is about, we really appreciate it. When I found out about this, I was super, super excited because, again, this is our perfect match for what we do here on Twitch in our community, and I was not going to miss the opportunity to have you on and speak about it. I wish you the very best with everything. Super excited about the workshop that you have coming up. You'll get a chance to meet some of our Twitch family during that workshop. So that's going to be absolutely wonderful. Yo-Yo Baby is saying she's excited too. She's like, me too, me too. So thank you for taking the time to come and speak with us today. Thank you to Jay. I know he's probably driving. He's probably already at his gig by now. But thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
But thank you. Any final words you want to say to the people? If you can put it, I'm gonna put you on something. I'm gonna put you on something, Courtney. You got to say it in one sentence. And I know I'm challenging the speech pathologist here. You got to say it in one sentence. What do you want to tell the people in one sentence?
You can always find something to like about everyone.
I like that.
Sometimes. I can think of.
I like that even better.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like it and I agree with it. I concur.
Yeah.
So everybody, please put some claps and some hearts in the chat. Yo-Yo Baby said most of the time. For Courtney, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you again to you and to Jay. I will be in touch with you all. Of course, I promised you all that we would stay in touch. And of course, this show will be posted on YouTube by noon tomorrow. So it will be there. You can refer folks there and say, hey, go check it out. Yes, Brown Whiskey Woman. But on this particular day, I'm not even drinking any whiskey, y'all. I'm drinking Belvoir Farms Elderberry and Rose Lemonade, non-alcoholic. And it's very good. But I did find out that Jay and Courtney are also whiskey drinkers.
We are.
That just made me like them even more. Just saying.
Yes. Yep.
So I look forward to the time when we can connect in person. We can have a drink and we can talk about all of the new things that will be happening by the time that we connect, because I know that there are going to be great things coming your way. So thank you so much for being here with us.
Thanks for having us.
All right. You're welcome. Cheers. It's not bourbon, but you know.
I know. I should have brought a drink.
All right. So, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. And I really wanted to bring you all a little bit something different this time. You know, every year I kind of have this challenge to myself of what am I going to bring you all about autism. We've done panels. We've had, different people on talking about different things. I've done slideshows. I've done all sorts of things, but this is a wonderful program, and I just really wanted you all to be aware of it. Again, thank you, Yo-Yo Baby, for pointing this out to me, bringing it to my attention, and introducing me to Jay and Courtney. Don't forget, if you know somebody that knows somebody, or you know somebody directly, right, that can help out with equipment, with sponsorship, please put them in touch, because this is a phenomenal thing. I want to tell you all what I got coming up. Again, I told you I'm still tired, right? And my last show was my ATL tribute, but I am going to take a few minutes and talk about this past weekend. Now, Locke and I did a recap on Tuesday. Locke, is that on YouTube? Okay, it is not on YouTube. So if you missed it, you missed it. Too damn bad, right? And if you missed the weekend, you missed something really special. We had the Lock and Key family reunion Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then we had Soul Train on Sunday. All of it was in conjunction with raising funds for Spinning Autism. I want to say thank you to everyone that lent their energy, their support, their donations. If you modded, and we had a whole bunch of wonderful mods, all the DJs, to Lock and Key Media, thank you. Put it in the chat. He gonna say thank you back, and that's okay. But put it in the chat. Put some hearts, some claps, some thank yous for Lock, because this is year 5 for him doing this event. year 5 for Spinning Autism. I am honored and privileged to be a part of it. I will hang around and ride his shirt tails on this as long as he will let me, because that's what I always say I'm doing. It's his event. It's his house. Hint, hint to all the people that were upset that they were not invited to his house. Yes, I'm talking to you peoples. But I am really, really honored to be a part of this. We have raised $6,400 so far. That does not include bits and subs, which will come in next month. Locke gave us a stretch goal, and the stretch goal was $10,000. I feel like we're going to be pretty damn close, if not on the money. I'm very confident. So I just want to say thank you again to everybody, because you all did that. You all did that. And I am humbled beyond words that you all would support this cause, because the Autism Society of America, they have services. They do a lot of advocacy. They have support groups. They provide items and equipment for individuals that are impacted by autism. You may not know it, but you probably have come in contact with somebody, some way, that was on the autism spectrum. There are a lot of adults that are currently being diagnosed. A lot of adults have kind of traversed through life not really knowing quite why they couldn't grasp this, that, or the other. Probably misdiagnosed along the way, and then they find out later on that perhaps they were on the autism spectrum all along. So it means a great deal to a great number of people. And Locke always says, autism is my baby. And I feel like you all pushed my baby around in the stroller for the past 4 or 5 days. And you took good care of my baby. And I appreciate you for that. So don't forget, if you're in the Baltimore area, they're coming to your town soon. Make sure you reach out. The B-Side Org and Spin the Spectrum, they are doing a workshop on Saturday, June 6th from 1 to 3. And if you use that scan code, or of course, if you reach out to Yo-Yo Baby or to Chanel B, you can get the information from them through Whisper. But the bsideorg@gmail.com is where you can find out more information. And remember, they need support staff, DJs. Come and be a volunteer and help out. Yo-Yo Baby says she thinks it's like 1 out of 8 people have autism. And I wasn't sure what the stats currently were. But that means that probably on a daily basis, you're coming in contact with somebody. So make sure you support Spin the Spectrum, and make sure that you continue to support Spinning Autism. That link is !spin. That's where you can get the total. That's where you can make a donation. But today, please, please donate to the GoFundMe for Spin the Spectrum. I will be back. I'm coming back, y'all, with some liquor on May 7th. And I'm actually going to call that show Liquor That My Friends Gave Me, because I was gifted with a pretty fair amount of liquor lately. I got some good bottles of whiskey, got some good bottles of bourbon specifically that I am really interested in tasting, things that I've never had before. So that's what the show is going to be about on May 7th, next Thursday. Liquor my friends gave me. That's probably what I'm going to have on the flyer. You know, I think that's a good title. Then you will see me 2 Thursdays in a row. Okay, so on the 14th, I am supposed to have a special guest, and I am not going to say who it is just in case it don't quite work out. But I am putting out in the universe that my guest is going to come through on the 14th. So that is what I have coming up. And then the rest of the May, I'm going to be taking a chill pill. I feel like I have been at Locke's house more in the past, week or so than, I don't know. I don't know in how long, right? I don't know in how long. And then he turns out the lights on me. There will be no slideshow. Well, you know what? I don't know, D-Man. Maybe. Maybe there'll be a slideshow. Maybe I need to show the friends that have given me the liquor. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe that should be the slideshow. He's saying he gonna charge me rent. Well, me being here ain't free. I'ma just say that. And we'll leave that there. I do pay for my time. All right, I pay for my time. But I will be back May 7th, next Thursday. Let's take a look at who is on and where we can go. And Ray Rap, for the record, I want you to know that someone did try that zero proof that you gifted us with. Someone tried that over the weekend. They didn't like it too much, but they did try it. I think they tried the rum, but just wanted to let you know that it was put to use. Okay, we said it had it set out with everything else. All right, so where shall we go today? That's a lot of people on. Okay, I want to go someplace that I've not been. How about if we go to Rich Nice? Rich NY. I'm sorry. Do I have it? It's nice, right? Rich Nice. Okay. Okay. Well, that's where we're going to go. All right. Again, thank you all so much for your support. Thank you for everything. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah. D-Man said, I don't know. I can't say zero proof is the best because I'm a whiskey drinker, right? So I don't know if I would say it's the best because I want some proof to my liquor. Just saying. But again, thank you all so much. We're going to get out of here and we are going to go over and support Rich Nice. So thank you, London, for putting that in there. And don't forget to donate. But yeah, and if you want some non-alcoholic, Belvoir Farm. See y'all. Have a good one. Love you. Is Courtney still back? Okay. I'll get with her later and just tell her. Thank you.